Jin Kim Math. A function is a mathematical concept that defines the relationship between inputs and outputs. It is a rule or operation that takes input values and generates output values according to a specific set of rules or calculations. Input variable. An input variable represents the value that is passed to a function. The function accepts input variable values, processes them, and generates output values. The input variable is also known as the independent variable in the function. The behavior of the function can vary depending on the value of the input variable. Output variable. An output variable represents the value or variable generated by the function. The function processes the input variable to determine the value of the output variable. The output variable is also known as the dependent variable in the function. The result or return value of the function is typically expressed as the output variable. The value of the output variable is determined based on the behavior of the function with respect to the value of the input variable.
Function notation: y equals fx. Fx is typically read as f of x or function f of x, where x represents the input variable, and f represents the expression of the function.
The function takes x as input and produces y as output. There are several ways to represent a function. Table. A table represents the correspondence between input values and output values in tabular form. Mapping diagram. A mapping diagram represents the correspondence between input values and output values using arrows. Each input value is shown as the starting point of an arrow, and the corresponding output value is shown as the endpoint of the arrow. Ordered pairs. Ordered pairs represent input values and output values in sequential order.
Each input value corresponds to an output value in the form of x, y, pairs.
Graph. A graph represents the function using a graphical representation. The input variable x moves along the x-axis of the graph, and the corresponding output value y can be read from the y-axis. The graph visually shows the relationship between input and output values. Function rule. A function can be defined using an expression or formula. For example, y equals 2x plus 1 represents a function that doubles the input value x and adds 1.